Well, good morning, everyone. It is Saturday. I believe it's October 5th. And I did do a short test ride on Wednesday. It's been a very strange week for me. I didn't get a lot of work, but the work I did do was quite stressful. Nothing to do with us, but before we even got our gear all set up, somebody T-boned another car right near us, and it was just a miracle. None of us, with the crew we were with, were near it, and nobody got hit, but there was a lot of debris. People were hurt. Yeah, it just made me sick to my stomach, realizing, oh great, now I've got to get out there and do my job after this. So it was a tough day, Thursday. But luckily nothing to do with us. We weren't blocking anyone's line of sight. My other work partner was 60 meters away in his truck. So yeah, honestly nothing to do with us. The police attended, fire, ambulance, and nobody kind of even wanted a statement from us because they realized we weren't even finished getting ready. So we hadn't even really started yet. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's certainly unnerving. I'm 55, right? I'm really close to just squeaking out of this and getting a very crappy pension, Canada pension, which hopefully I can still get it. For those Americans, it'll work out to be about $700 a month, which will not cover my housing. So, you know, if I don't have a roommate or something going on, I'm probably going to be homeless at 60. But at least I'll have money to eat, so yay! But speaking of money, I took a sick day Friday. I was running a fever. Thursday, wasn't a good week for me, I had to ride my Cannondale right off the couch, a couple of hard rides to repair this bike. So I did do a little bit of beaking off on my Wednesday test ride, making sure that lady knows how cool it is that she waited for me. So scary out here sometimes on the bike. But again, it's why we want the thrill, right? I mean, honestly, I was a rock climber and a mountaineer, so I know all about this problem. That once we get into these, adrenaline pumping things, sports and activities, especially when we're young, we're kind of hooked on it. So however I got to get my fix, whether it's on the Harley or the other day, I think it was Monday, it was pouring rain, and I came down here with a battery, with the old battery strapped to the back of my bicycle. Little, like a rat trap luggage rack on the back. So the battery was pretty heavy, like just for the rack. So it was kind of scary doing this and flying down here. But it turns out this Lordco down here at the bottom isn't as good as the other one. Okay, just need to stay relaxed and get safely over the bridge. Basically, I'm forced to kind of do this ride once a week. Obviously, I could use my work vehicle for this. I probably should have. I have some gear to swap out. But, it's nice enough to ride, so I'm doing it. There will be times I can't take the bike this winter, I'm sure of it. But that's right, people, stay away from the scared old guy on the motorcycle. Oh my goodness. I'm always a little worried over here. I guess just watching someone run a stop sign and T-bone somebody, just epically stupid move. Here we go. May the 4th be with you. 4th gear. Yeah, I think honestly I'm gonna get over, let people fly by me. I really don't like speeding across the bridge too much. even though everybody does it. Okay. But essentially, last, oh geez. Come on, baby. Yeah. +1 getting the 1200. She's got some guts. When you need it. That was a little bit of a, that guy was wanting to pull out. He knew the light was going to change, and I just was hoping he saw me. Okay, did it. It's a little colder than I thought it would be, so again, Mr. Overconfident. But hopefully I don't get rained on. I just want to get this quick errand done, and then I've got kind of 2 days to ride near my house and not have any risk in my life. Well, at least less. It was such a shitty week, I feel stupid driving across. But without getting the holiday pay on Monday, for Monday, the stat holiday pay, I don't know if I'd make ends meet this week. I literally got 16 hours of work. Okay, I'm at Willingdon. Sorry if that's a bit loud in the mic. I'm not exactly a movie star. I ain't no movie star, but I could get... Never mind. I miss Gord Downey. May he rest in peace. If you haven't watched the special about the Tragically Hip, I don't know whether it's on Prime or Netflix. I can't remember where I watched it. But I watched, I think, the first episode. Really good. Made me cry. They were just such a Canadian, you know, every once in a while we have a band that just, I don't know, really defines their generation. I think the Tragically Hip are one of those bands, kind of like the Guess Who or BTO. They're just known so well outside of Canada that they can't not be like a national icon now. They're just so famous outside of our little village. Could probably use my signal. Okay, got the camera going. I always forget it whether I even got it going. So yeah, I'm not gonna make a good key grip. Hopefully this light holds for me. Okay, good. Almost to my turnaround point. Pretty gloomy day. Pretty gloomy Saturday, but I'm trusting the weatherman. They said it probably won't rain. But oh my goodness, it's a little nipply now. I've dropped down in the elevation a tiny bit now, coming down Canada Way. Ooh, I'm hauling. Whoops. Okay, slow her down. Oh, this bike ride's more like a boat. You really got to look ahead, slow down, steady. You know, she doesn't like sudden stops, although I've managed to survive a few of those. But she doesn't like that very much. Okay, I'm going to save some battery power for the trip across the bridge back home. I had to detour again because Wind Van's got that little intersection all messed up. They're paving today. So, once again, I'm riding around in circles. Anyway, I just turned the camera on so I could have another rant. Ranting McRanter. Okay, I had to take Willingdon because of the big detour. Smelling the exhaust. Lots of traffic now. Bike's a little warm. And my helmet visor is pretty dirty. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a hell of a stressful week with my battery melting again. So far so good, knock on wood. I think all those hours spent watching MacGyver episodes paid off. I was able to MacGyver this thing into running again. I just don't have the budget where I can get her to a mechanic. She needs professional help. Really. But I've gone full Clint Eastwood. Everybody that I thought I cared about either betrayed me or they're dead. One or the other. So I don't have anyone to help me with this bike, so I would have to pay someone. So yeah, not good. And I can't go to the dealership. They just laugh me out of there. They don't want to see this bike. There's no warranty on this thing. I highly recommend buying a better bike if you can afford it. The only reason I'm on a 16-year-old motorcycle is because I'm on a really tight budget and I wanted to learn about this particular platform because there's still a lot of them around. They've made these for, I don't know, at least 30 years. And they're all very similar. So if I learn how to deal with a Sportster, then I can probably deal with a Heritage. Basically. It's almost like that lady was waiting for me. Okay, just gonna fly along Canada Way, try to stay out of trouble. Oh, it is a little cool, but it looks like the sun is gonna eventually burn this cloud cover off. So I'll be honest, tomorrow might actually be a very nice day. There we go, looking ahead. Oh. Right down into first. Okay. And I turned the camera on because I got a nice sport bike behind me and to my right. He'll probably fly right by. graduated license program. So yeah, and look how quick he takes off. Oh my god. That's a super quick bike. So this poor kid, man. Wish him luck. I'm gonna try to protect him a little. Stay behind him while he races up Canada Way. But they all, and I noticed he's got his rear pegs down. So he probably just dropped a girlfriend off. That's what I'm guessing. She wore the backpack for him. Now he's heading home. See, I know this guy's life story. When you're that young with a really nice sport bike, you probably have a girlfriend. And I leave respect for him because if I get really nailed, I don't want to go anywhere near him. So that's why, you know, we could ride tight if we knew each other, but for somebody you don't know, you just want to help him out. Give him a little space. Just try to stay close enough so cars don't do what they're doing to him right now. Just try to barge in front. Kind of a pain. So I don't know what his rules are, but if he's got the N, he probably doesn't need me to be here as a supervisor. But just in case, it might be cool to help him get along Canada Way. He might be riding dirty. I don't know specifically what the rules for the graduated N. I did the regular way because I already had a car license. But this kid probably does not have a car license. That's the difference between a cruiser and a race bike. I do have some power and some torque, but I'd have to hit it pretty hard to get it. Whereas that thing weighs nothing and is way overpowered. Sweet. That young, he's probably going to pop out onto 10th. He seems like a local, so he's avoiding some of the traffic that I'm going to hit down here by the school. So it's likely we'll meet up again. Oh my goodness, I didn't want to look over there. Yes, that's right. I am a hopeless, pathetic sinner. And every time I have this nice gradual hill, I have to resist the temptation to ride this motorcycle no hands. So I've done it a few times. I'm not going to promote that kind of shenanigans. I like knowing that this bike tracks a straight line. I mean, you got to try it once. But yeah, honestly, when drivers see us do something like that, they just shake their heads and they don't like motorcycle riders even more. So if you can do everything you can to not be a jackass out here, it will help all of us get more respect on the road, I think. You know, you get the guys doing wheelies and the front wheel stands and, lordy. Fine in a parking lot with your friends, you know, if you're not actually going out on the road that night, you're just goofing around in a parking lot, practicing your stunts. Fine, I can see you doing it, but just not while you're actively on the road, and none of this road racing, which, you know, I'm sure it happens. So I'm looking to my left. This is where he would come out, that other rider. He'd pop right down here. Sometimes that this corner, like the turn lane, is quicker than where I did. Ooh, yeah. Honestly, look at this stupid traffic lineup at 10 a.m. on a Saturday. This is Vancouver. I'm really just holding out at my condo as long as I can. Eventually, I'll have to leave the city again. In terms of affordability. But hey, one more winter, hopefully. One day at a time, Lord, one day at a time. Was reading in the book of Mathew before my horrible shift started on Thursday about how Jesus tells them not to worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow will take care of itself. And then he uses the example of the birds of the air, like look at the little birds and whatnot. He says something to the effect that, do you think they worry about where their next meal is coming from? And if I provide for the birds, and I told you that I love you, now why would I not provide for you? So what Jesus is saying is that there is enough food in the world. It's just a matter of us, you know, behaving correctly and getting it to the right people. Like that isn't really the problem, according to Jesus. Like the lack of food. You know, we have all the plants, Genesis 1:11, we have all the seed-bearing plants to use, and because of Jesus, we are eating meat, you know, like in the Old Testament, I don't think they were allowed to eat meat. But anyway, I won't even get into that. All the sacrifice rules and all that. I'll let somebody who's read the Torah for a living describe all that to you. But yeah, because of Jesus and the Beatitudes at the beginning of Mathew, he's pretty explicit. You know, I've obviously read it a few times, but I'm going through it now with more of a, with my 55-year-old understanding of life as well. So being able to put it into context, I think requires a little maturity. So I'm getting gobsmacked by how often I read a passage in the Bible now, even though I've read it as a 20-year-old and maybe glanced at it as a 40-year-old. You know, like I've always kind of been close to my Bible over the years, and I'm kind of gobsmacked by how it doesn't really finally hit home or make total sense until now. You know, until I have it in the context of a lifetime time of serious trauma and dealing with systemic hate almost on a daily basis in my life. Like, it's stranger than fiction. When I tell people my life story, they almost don't believe it because it's so epically silly. And because of my unique handicap. My credibility is kind of sketchy from the get-go just based on how I look. People misjudge me. So, there's that. But I think it's important for me to remember that these passages in the beginning of Matthew are explicitly what Jesus told the disciples and his followers to do. Pretty cool stuff. I just wish I had more motivation to get going on the course exams. I am looking at the material from time to time, of course, pretending to study, you know, when I get a moment in my truck or get a moment after work. It's been brutal. This change of seasons, I'll be honest, with the combo of having to work on the bike and realizing that I'm not making a lot of money and I've just got to squeak through again, pull money out of my ass, literally. So, I don't know. It's getting frustrating, and then it gets frustrating when a few bad people try to make my life worse. So, I just have to engage in, I guess, self-care, what we call self-care, looking out for me and doing what's right. And making the call to have a sick day Friday was really, really beneficial to me. Ooh. Anything. I could have gone out for a ride. There was a couple hours where it wasn't raining, but no, I was smart. I took it as a complete rest day. Look at me, I just babbled my way onto the bridge. I gotta be very careful here because I'm getting a little complacent. I'm riding this bike, like throwing it in the corners like 60K. I need to stay vigilant. I gotta keep the focus that drivers are stupid. Drivers want to kill me. But right now, I'm in a pretty defensive spot. There's nobody around me. They might be scared of me. Here's a guy coming up now. But that was kind of nice being on the bridge all alone there for a second. So 60K, surrounded by cars, on a rickety old bridge. What could possibly go wrong? But I always feel better getting back on my own side, now that I live over here now. I hit a bump and had a little whiskey throttle. That's, you know, that happens when you're over gripping a little. I was a little chilled and a little nervous, so I was over gripping my bars. And then I hit a bump and got a little shot of throttle. That's bush league. Fucking bush league, man. I gotta relax my upper body. Stay gold, pony boy. Stay gold. Stay relaxed. Breathe. Don't get nervous on the bridge. 9 degrees. Holy crap. And I'm wearing a vest and a couple layers. I really am Canadian. 9 degrees and I'm not really wearing a jacket. Look at what I'm wearing. All you Americanos. Check that out. I don't want to hear you whining. 9 degrees. Perfect riding weather for an old Evo Harley. They are cold-blooded. Although, again, being a dumbass, I'm probably running too heavy in oil for winter. I'm running basically the same what I run in the summer. So a little bit thick, probably for cold weather. So I'm sorry, Harley Davidson. The fact that I changed the oil is probably should get me a fucking medal. So yeah, I'm running new primary, new engine compartment oil for the winter, so panic. It's running, okay? What do you want from me? I'm doing the best I can, God. I'm doing it. Here we go. I'm gonna go for it. Yeah. Once in a while, I like that. I like that feeling of just gunning it. Look at that. Hey, points for being safe. I might have made it through the light if I really hammered it, but you know what? She's 16. She's not new. So constantly making her deliver the goods to keep me alive is maybe not a good call. I'd rather take care of her. Yeah, just had to turn the camera on because this idiot in the white car ahead can't stay in his own lane. He almost swerved into my lane when he went by me. I don't know if that's a case where they're just looking at the bike and they get drawn closer to something they're looking at. Like one of those weird things that they teach us when we're learning how to ride. Like, you know, don't stare at a hazard because it'll suck you in. Lovely. See that? I waited for that car to shield me because I couldn't really see. I kind of slowed down before I crossed that intersection to have that Honda SUV shield me. Like I could use a shield against this guy. Holy crap. He's on his phone. Oh my god. That's what I really don't need to see. Fucking idiot. He's on his phone with one hand and turning into traffic. Oh, what a dipshit. And this is just rich entitlement. Oh, that law doesn't apply to me. Guy's probably owning one of these businesses. So he's got a little money. I know I'm really pessimistic, or what do you call it, jaded. But yeah, I've lived in this neighborhood for 6 years, and there are a lot of wealthy people here. And what that wealth does is it separates you from the real world. It insulates and it separates you from the real people and the real world. Everyone is your servant. Everyone is below you. When you're wealthy and you order food from your servants, you know, you get your car washed by your servants. It just creates that mentality of us and them. It's really horrible. This is how I lost my older brother. He may as well be dead. I haven't spoken to him in 20 years. Long time. Well, I don't know how long, but well over a decade. And it's because of his wealth. He's too embarrassed to be seen with me now. Yeah, he would be too embarrassed to own a house that I live in. He'd be too embarrassed to help his little brother and to have people know that he's got to help his little brother, who can't seem to hold down a real job and has to do jobs that, nobody wants to do in order to survive. People that do my kind of work are super tough. Like, it's a brutal job. So if you think you know what we go through, you don't. So probably don't mess with anybody that works on the roads right now. It's pretty nasty out there, and those people, if they're anything like me, they get kind of jaded. So you mess with them, they'll probably punch you right in the face. It's a frustrating job. We all need support, and there really isn't any in our industry. Guy's sitting in the crosswalk. There's a stop line for a reason, a-hole. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an expert motorcycle rider and I'm not an expert driver, but I generally stop at the freaking stop line. It's the little things. Alright. That was a good rant.